Welcome to History Explained, where we illuminate the past to better understand our present. I'm your guide to your daily journey through the past to empower the future. Today is Saturday, July 5th, 2025. As we do every Saturday, we're exploring a significant military engagement that shaped the course of history. Today, we turn our attention to the Battle of Britain, the crucial air campaign fought from July to October 1940 that determined whether Nazi Germany could achieve air superiority over the United Kingdom. This pivotal battle marked the first major defeat of Nazi forces and proved that Hitler's war machine was not invincible. What makes the Battle of Britain particularly significant is how it demonstrated that air power alone could determine the outcome of major military campaigns. The successful defense of British airspace prevented a German invasion and kept Britain in the war as a base for the eventual liberation of Europe. So let's explore this decisive aerial conflict, examining the strategic context that led to it, the technological and tactical factors that influenced the outcome, the human stories of courage and sacrifice, and its lasting impact on the course of World War II. Following the fall of France in June 1940, Nazi Germany controlled most of Western Europe and stood poised to invade Britain. Hitler's Operation Sea Lion required achieving air superiority over the English Channel and southern England to protect German invasion forces from Royal Air Force attacks. The German Luftwaffe, commanded by Hermann Göring, had proven devastatingly effective during the Blitzkrieg campaigns in Poland, Norway, and France. With over 2,600 aircraft available for the assault on Britain, German commanders were confident they could quickly destroy the RAF and pave the way for invasion. The Royal Air Force faced this challenge with approximately 700 frontline fighters, primarily Supermarine Spitfires and Hawker Hurricanes. While outnumbered, the RAF possessed several crucial advantages that would prove decisive in the coming battle. Britain's radar system, called Chain Home, provided early warning of incoming German raids. These coastal radar stations could detect aircraft approaching from across the English Channel, giving RAF commanders precious time to scramble interceptors and position them effectively against incoming threats. The British also benefited from fighting over their home territory. RAF pilots who were shot down but survived could return to combat, while German aircrews who crashed in Britain were captured. This meant that British pilot losses were partially recoverable, while German losses were permanent. RAF Fighter Command, led by Air Chief Marshal Hugh Dowding, had developed an integrated defense system that maximized the effectiveness of limited resources. The command structure allowed centralized control of fighter squadrons while maintaining flexibility to respond to changing tactical situations. The battle began in earnest on July 10, 1940, with German attacks on British shipping in the English Channel. These early raids aimed to draw RAF fighters into combat and test British defensive capabilities while targeting the maritime supply lines essential to British survival. During this initial phase, both sides learned valuable lessons about their opponent's capabilities and tactics. German pilots discovered that British fighters were more formidable than expected, while RAF commanders gained insight into German attack patterns and aircraft performance. The second phase began in August with massive German attacks on RAF airfields, radar stations, and aircraft factories. Göring believed that destroying these ground installations would cripple British air defenses and force the RAF into decisive battles where German numerical superiority would prove decisive. August 15, 1940, became known as Eagle Day, when the Luftwaffe launched its largest coordinated attack yet, with over 1,500 aircraft targeting multiple objectives across Britain. However, the attacks failed to achieve their objectives, and German losses exceeded British casualties for the first time. The critical period came in late August and early September when German attacks on RAF airfields began to seriously strain British capabilities. Several fighter command bases suffered significant damage, and pilot fatigue became a serious concern as combat veterans flew multiple missions daily. RAF reserves were approaching dangerously low levels when Hitler made a crucial strategic error. Following a British bombing raid on Berlin, he ordered the Luftwaffe to shift from attacking military targets to bombing London and other civilian areas in retaliation. This change in strategy, beginning on September 7, 1940, gave RAF Fighter Command the respite it desperately needed. While the London Blitz caused tremendous civilian suffering, it allowed damaged airfields to be repaired and exhausted pilots to rest and regroup. The climactic day came on September 15, 1940, when the Luftwaffe launched massive daylight raids against London. RAF Fighter Command responded with everything available, and in the ensuing battles, German forces suffered heavy losses while failing to achieve air superiority. The September 15 victory demonstrated that the RAF retained the ability to inflict unacceptable losses on German daylight raids. Hitler indefinitely postponed Operation Sea Lion, effectively ending the immediate threat of invasion and marking the battle's turning point. The technological aspects of the battle were crucial to its outcome. The Supermarine Spitfire proved capable of matching the German Messerschmitt Bf 109 in combat, while the Hawker Hurricane, though slower, was an effective bomber-destroyer with heavy armament. German aircraft had their own advantages. The Messerschmitt Bf 109 was an excellent fighter, but its limited range meant it could only operate over Britain for brief periods. German bombers like the Heinkel He 111 and Dornier Do 17 were well designed but vulnerable to determined fighter attacks. The human dimension of the battle was extraordinary. RAF pilots, many barely out of their teens, flew multiple missions daily under tremendous stress. The famous few included not only British pilots but also Poles, Czechs, and other nationals fighting for freedom. Polish pilots, in particular, proved exceptionally effective, bringing combat experience from their country's invasion and a fierce determination to fight the Germans. Squadron 303, composed entirely of Polish pilots, achieved one of the highest kill ratios of any RAF unit during the battle. The Luftwaffe also displayed remarkable courage and skill. German pilots faced the challenge of fighting over enemy territory while protecting vulnerable bomber formations. Many German aces achieved impressive victory tallies during the battle despite operating under difficult conditions. Ground crews on both sides worked tirelessly to keep aircraft operational. RAF ground personnel often repaired damaged fighters under attack, while German maintenance crews struggled to keep aircraft operational despite limited resources and constant pressure. The role of British civilians was equally important. The Observer Corps provided additional aircraft tracking capabilities, while factory workers maintained aircraft production despite German bombing. Women played crucial roles as pilots ferrying aircraft, mechanics, and radar operators. The battle's outcome was determined by several key factors beyond individual courage and skill. British aircraft production actually increased during the battle, while German production remained static. This meant that British aircraft losses were more easily replaced than German casualties. The integrated British defense system proved superior to German tactical improvisation. While individual German units performed well, the Luftwaffe lacked the coordination and strategic planning necessary to achieve decisive victory against a well-organized defense. Intelligence also played a crucial role. British codebreakers provided valuable information about German intentions and tactics, while the Luftwaffe remained largely ignorant of British capabilities and organization. The strategic implications of the British victory were enormous. By maintaining air superiority over the British Isles, the RAF prevented German invasion and kept Britain in the war as a base for future operations against Nazi-occupied Europe. The battle also marked the beginning of Germany's strategic overextension. Unable to defeat Britain quickly, Hitler was forced to maintain substantial forces in Western Europe while simultaneously preparing for the invasion of the Soviet Union, dividing German strength and resources. For the United States, the British victory provided crucial time for American rearmament and preparation for war. Had Britain fallen in 1940, America would have faced a much stronger Germany with control over European resources and technology. The Battle of Britain established important precedents for air warfare. It demonstrated that strategic bombing campaigns required air superiority to be effective and that determined fighter defenses could inflict unacceptable losses on attacking forces. The battle also validated the importance of radar technology and integrated command systems in modern warfare. These innovations became standard features of air defense systems worldwide and influenced military aviation development for decades. The human cost was significant. The RAF lost 544 aircrew killed and 422 wounded during the battle, while German losses totaled approximately 2,662 aircrew killed, wounded, or missing. These casualties represented irreplaceable losses of experienced pilots and crews. Civilian casualties from the London Blitz and other bombing campaigns were substantial, with over 40,000 British civilians killed during the entire Blitz period. However, German strategic bombing failed to break British morale or significantly impact war production. The Battle of Britain's legacy extends far beyond its immediate military consequences. It became a symbol of democratic resistance to totalitarian aggression and demonstrated that smaller, well-organized forces could defeat larger enemies through superior technology, tactics, and determination. Winston Churchill's famous tribute to "the few" captured the battle's significance. Never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many to so few. This recognition acknowledged that the RAF's victory preserved not only British independence but the possibility of eventual Allied victory. The Battle of Britain stands as one of history's most decisive military campaigns, preventing Nazi domination of Europe and preserving the foundation for Allied victory. The courage of RAF pilots and the effectiveness of British technology and organization proved that Hitler's war machine could be defeated. Thank you for joining us for this exploration of the Battle of Britain. Tomorrow, we'll be back with our Innovations and Inventions episode examining the development of penicillin and its revolutionary impact on medicine and public health. If you enjoyed this journey through history, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell. What aspects of the Battle of Britain do you find most significant or inspiring? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, I'm your guide for History Explained, where we believe that understanding yesterday is the key to navigating tomorrow.